Well, hello, Minglava. Generally, Tine Permazon, the cow, Tilo, town hall, virtual town hall loadown. Angani Lele Imran, two share the experience of Kubo, no? Tamre, Yaku, the Gavalo, the Bielon, Yinsani, Dokar or that near Dokam Hole, along Tibilo, Yunjibare. The COVID-19 Lara Pintane, Lara Miane. Daha do Matujo Bude, Keke Cuba. Eddie John, Eddie Kekeo, Pelo, Choloam Nesora, Imra Yichi Bare. Angarone Saitama the Yichi don't load Tenaro, Tigaro, do ye when Andy, do ye when An Midazuri, Agolon, no Chanya Mamane, the Kekeo, Cholanabo. That Perma was on Yojeba. Celebiro, do ye the customary, do ye the project the money time there, Piruluru de Akolon, no, the Lolo Kugune, Tan and the Lau, Kunji baby ro, through the Kekeo Cholana bo, da Ayiji Yojeba. Eddie Jam. The COVID-19 sa Pigrea company in a two mangini, a Kalun Chabi. Tonado the management group or no, taking mu Ochomu, a poya, the gay Mia Tokera ole, Anga a two Pobiajimare, Melvyn the Gua, 2 year management pwedi, Neo Nyao, Toromia, season. Daily charger, no season B, no I told you, some minute out Pobiajimare, no, a to the P, the Badrima, Gina get a chedia, Tale, the Turu Longanio, Pobiada Chediva, Ubuma, the now son to cook biology, no, da Lumiati Zomba, tea also let people look under you, sorry, no. The dental are been up by Ma, Ludia Colon, no, supermarket days, Zero, Tuavro, where they are Shira Colon, where you know, the panic pin it out to it. Ediao Doni ne, Pelopiciam, Sinana Chema, do alone, Sechava, Palang, Ayamane Lude, Star City Mane Lude. Now do a wuna alone, Eddie. Need those are my PC, a mere Sinabo, a mere Wenabo, do a two, do a partner pide, metro there, Poo Bomb Biro, no, 80 out Poo, no, the bad time, the bad on the chamber, Poo, that's in Havare. Edia, Sao, CEO, no, lower there, Yichi there, the Pisidio, Colon, no, a Simapia, Penambo, that's in Harao. A two Pobiajimare. Edilo Ciziaro, Anga Minaro, Nanagama, Pipi, Tonoro di Yamanangama Pipi, no, da Lolo Gulon and a Lomubau, Tormiania Male, Elo Cizin, Shidelo, Matemau. Tamre, do a poesy maro, Ediao, Sawyer Piem, that they charge a tea on Sawyer Melo, that Gribi Namare. Eddie John Lam, now, Angani, a two Biogena. The COVID-19 Sora, 2 Diape, a soya bear, Tomo in the Ochomu poet seat to put there. Tao, Toy inside Miro, Toa, Taikade, oh, a chinim hobao. Ta the Bielo, no, the dying alone, no, a cone, wine will mirror, choose a money. The Keke Cholana Mesora, the China anima, Pobiat Pivabi. A good solution, a Yeji Zonaro, COVID-19, the Pian Paul Bode, a Chinia, Torosore, လူတယောက်အကယ်၍ဒီယောဂါကိုရမိလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်9ရက်အတွင်းမှာเนาะအကယ်သူနှစ်သက်တော့မှ9เนาะအချိန်သူများကိုကူးပေးနိုင်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်เนาะတလအတွင်းမှာတယောက်ကနေလူ406ယောက်ဖြစ်သွားမယ်ဆိုတာဒီကဏ္ဍတွေကပညာရှင်တွေထုတ်ပြီးသားဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီလို406ယောက်ဒီယောဂါရလို့ရှိရင်နောက်တစ်လအတွင်းမှာ406နဲ့ထပ်မြောက်လာလို့ရှိရင်ဒါထောင်နဲ့တောင်းနဲ့ကဏ္ဍဖြစ်သွားတာအဲ့ဒီကြောင့်လဲအရေးကြီးဆုံးကတော့အခုကာကွယ်ရမှာတော့လူအချင်းချင်းเนาะဒီ social distancing ပေါ့နော်ဆိုတော့နည်းနည်းခွာပြီးနေရမယ်အခြေအနေရောက်လာပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီကြောင့်လဲအားလုံးကအဲ့ဒီလိုဒီလိုအပ်ချက်တွေကိုเนาะကိုယ်တိုင်ဆောင်ရွက်ဖို့เนาะအဲ့ဒီဟာတွေကိုကိုယ်ကပတ်မိုးပေးဖို့เนาะမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင်ထိနိုင်မှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးဒါကြောင့်လဲအငတိုက်တွန်းကျင်တာတော့အားလုံးဟို panic ဖို့မလိုပါဘူးသို့တော်လဲအဲ့ဒီခက်ခဲကိုပေါ်ဆောနဲ့မယူဆပဲနဲ့เนาะလေးလေးနဲ့ဟိုလိုအပ်ချက်တွေကိုအကုန်လုံးပြည့်ဝအောင်ဆောင်ရွက်ဖို့အငတိုက်တွန်းပါတယ်ဒီနေ့ဒီပွဲကတော့အငရဲအနေနဲ့တည်င်းပေးတဲ့အပြင်မေကွန်းတွေကိုလည်းဖြေဖို့အစင်သင့်ပါပဲဆိုတော့အငလဲဒီတော့ပဲအရင်ပြောပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်အားလုံးဆွေးနွေးဖို့အစင်သင့်ပါပဲနော်
Hi everyone. So I'm just going to make a few short comments and then we can move on to Q&A. First of all, I want to thank all of you for a lot of the work that's been done in the last few weeks around COVID-19. I know all of you in different ways have been extremely hardworking, at the same time probably quite concerned. So I want to really thank you. I want to thank in particular our team from the hospital. They've really been working, really dedicating their time, planning for what's happening now, but also for what may happen in the worst case scenarios. So I want to just thank you especially, and thank you for your support, and I rely on you for your support as well. Look, there's no doubt that the global situation is very bad. I've talked to many companies, many investors, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime situation that we haven't encountered for a long time. It is actually not just a virus. It feels more like war. Everything has been shut down. There's no travel, very limited travel around, and there's a lot of uncertainty ahead. For Myanmar, I can only say that we're only seeing just the beginning. We've had 3 cases. I think most people would expect there are more cases in the community. But I'm also quite assured that there is not a huge outbreak that is happening right now. We're not seeing that in our hospitals or the clinics. And this is not something that the government can hide, nor the government would want to hide. So I'm a bit wary about where we are and what may lie ahead, but I really don't think we should panic. Now, on the group side, whether it is the Yoma Bank, the rest of the group, real estate, etc., all of us have taken a lot of measures, and I want to thank you for the work that has been put in place. I remember when we first came back and looked at this in the middle of January, a lot of the measures that we talked about were viewed as extreme. In fact, now when we look at it, those were exactly the right policies. Restricting travel to some areas, limiting visitors from coming in. With that as a mindset, I want to remind you that whatever policy that we put in place or processes we put in place that may seem a bit inconvenient or a bit too much, may not be too much. It may be actually the right thing that we'll do. So I ask for your support in really getting behind this and doing it. There's some small things that really make a big difference, but it may be inconvenient. We've asked people to wash hands very regularly. I think I'm seeing much more of that. Please really think about doing that much more. And also, as we talk to our friends and family, please encourage them to have better personal hygiene. It's very much a Myanmar way to share utensils and share food. At this time, we really have to stop doing it. You have to have serving spoons to avoid contamination in the community. And we have to practice social distancing. It's not a strange thing that we're sitting so far apart. This is the right social distancing. In meeting rooms, please sit far apart. It is just for the protection of everyone else. So I think a lot of the things that we are saying is inconvenient, but frankly quite simple. And I'll ask you to really adhere to it so that we can protect each other and the community. Now, as a group, we've also put in place and accelerated a number of things that would help us communicate better and clarify situations. I would remind all of you that we have a new email, which is askdr@yoma.com.mm, askdr@yoma. That is a resource where the hospital has a dedicated doctor who can answer any questions that you may have. I get a lot of questions, oh, my family member has a light fever, but it's not too serious, is it okay? Or, oh, no fever, but a lot of cough, what kind of cough is not okay? Just go to Ask Doc so they can get a quick answer. That was put in place specifically so that we don't have to judge for ourselves and take those risks ourselves. We're also rolling out Yoma Connect as an app as well as a website. That will be the primary area where we can push information to you quickly. We've also got an Ask HR email. Again, you can ask HR anything to clarify policies or issues. So those are communication things that we are putting in place. Now, we've done a lot of other things, as you see in workplace, etc., and we'll continue to do them. I'm very glad that Yoma Bank has put in place a relief loan program. That is going to be live on the 1st of April. We commit to extending loan for up to 3 months' salary within 24 hours for anyone with urgent cash needs. We're also putting food supply in place. In fact, throughout the last few weeks, we've been planning on, in the worst case, if there's food disruption, what can we do to help our staff? And we have a significant amount of inventory that is stored and reserved for us. Some of that is being sold in our various stores or in the campus store, and it will be sold in other locations so that our staff doesn't have to go and panic buy and crowd with all the other people. We're also implementing a lot of work from home policies across the whole group. You will see more and more people working from home, and that just reduces people in the office and reduce the risk that we take. Above all, as we see more and more cases that are coming through, I would ask that if you have any doubt that you, your family, your family's friends, or any people, even if it's a few contact removed, if any contact has been in contact with a positive COVID patient, the first thing I'll ask you to do is contact us. Contact us, HR, contact me directly, contact your line manager. We need to very quickly figure out what risk each person is under to make sure that we don't bring the virus back to the office. So I will ask that we are very careful on this. But I'll end the note by just reminding all of us that it is a bad situation, and there's no doubt about it. But we've been preparing for a long time, probably much earlier than most companies in the world. And not that we have everything worked out, but together we're going to get over this. There's no doubt in my mind that we are going to come out stronger as a result of being together and working through this together. But I would also say that this is not going to go away in the next 1 or 2 months. In fact, most projections would show that this virus is going to stay with us for a long time. And the economic impact of that, stopping businesses, stopping production, reducing people who want to come out, that is going to live with us for a long time. So we will have to together weather this and find a way to make sure that our business can still survive and thrive. But I'll rely on all of you for your dedication, and I want to thank you for the work that's been done so far. So with that, I think we take questions. Yeah?
Yes.
So there's a process in place. I have a lot of questions that have already been posted. Some of that I'll pass to the chairman. Some of that I'll answer. I'll ask all of you with any questions to also send it through comments on workplace. Whether you're on the Yoma Bank workplace or the Yoma Group workplace, we will be receiving those and we'll be answering them. So please do that. We should have a little competition, whether Yoma Bank or Yoma Group has more questions. So I'll let you see whether it works. I'm going to let the chairman, I'll ask the question and the chairman can answer. What would be the impact of the economy of Myanmar after COVID-19?
Well, that's a very big question and probably requires a big answer. But I'll try to make it as simple as possible. I think the entire world order, the economic world order, will change after COVID-19. That's already quite evident in the way people are addressing the crisis. COVID-19 has brought about a crisis that is not only unprecedented, but it is something that nobody has actually sort of prepared for it. Let me start by giving you a very simple example. If you go down to the lower strata of society in terms of the economic activity, and let's say we take the little restaurants that are all over the city, any city. Okay? Now, the thousands of these little restaurants, whether it's a noodle shop or a moinga shop or any other shop, when you have a city that's going to be locked down, and when you have people who actually avoid going out, these businesses will have no customers. And the smaller the businesses, the more they are vulnerable because they cannot sustain without customers. So you see closures. Now, a lot of these business owners actually rely on that shop's income for their livelihood. And suddenly you find that they don't have a stable livelihood income. But then you go deeper to think about the thousands of waiters and dishwashers and people in that industry that suddenly also do not have a job anymore. And at this point of time, there is no social security to support that. So you really have a very difficult situation, and I'm just taking the lowest strata of our society. As you go up round by round, you see the problems actually getting bigger and bigger. And therefore, I think even when COVID-19 is over, okay, it will take some time for us to get back, to reset to the original position we were in. So there is no doubt in my mind that the economic landscape is going to change, right? But that's sometime in the future when COVID is over. What about when COVID-19 is on at this moment? And I think we have to be prepared for tougher times. We have to be prepared for income streams to drastically drop, cash flow to drastically drop. And if we're not well prepared, I think we will be in trouble. So as a group, one of the most important factors that is in our whole plan for action is how to preserve cash, how to mitigate the possibility of a decrease of income and cash flow. And I think that one factor will differentiate the companies that will successfully overcome and surmount this difficulty, and those companies that actually will fall flat on its face.
Thank you. So next question I'll take. It doesn't look like things will get better anytime soon. What is the group's long-term plans? So I'll start with the short term. I think as the chairman mentioned, we need to make sure that we are in a sound financial position. And we're very lucky actually to have closed a number of significant investment into the group in the last 12 months that would put us with a better foundation. That is the Ayala money, that is the investment that goes into Yoma Bank, etc., etc. So in the near term, we are looking at cash flow implications. We would have to expect economic activities, whether that's people going to restaurants or people going to even our hospitals, etc., those would come down. And we have to make sure that we have the cash to sustain our businesses. As a commitment, the group will weather the lion's share of any pain. The pain is going to come from the fact that we have a lot less income, and the group will weather that first. I'm also very glad to say that our senior executive, when we discussed this earlier, have committed to also taking a large share of the burden. Many of them have offered to take pay cuts as a first kind of layer to protect other staff, other more junior staff, or other even some of the people who are working for us even on a part-time basis. I don't know what will be the outcome of it all, but we have a commitment to ensure that we really are banded together, that we protect as many people as possible. We do not plan for layoffs at this point. Rather, we need to really hold together to make sure that we are stronger out of this crisis. Now, in the longer term plans, we will continue to look at our strategy, but our core strategy remains the same. We think there's a huge amount of need for financial services, whether it's COVID-19 or not. So whether it is Yoma Bank, Wave Money, or other financial services, including Yoma Fleet, those will be a big driver of our business. Real estate, there's a lot of need for people to have housing. And if anything, this crisis highlights the need to have high quality housing that people can feel comfortable in. But most of the other sectors, I think those are core bets that the company has made that will continue to be the case. But we'll have to be agile and monitor. So that's my question. The next question is for the chairman, and we've asked you to answer in Myanmar. You're a successful businessman. You must have gone through many different storms. What is your advice to weather this storm?
ကောင်းပါတယ်ဒီမေကွန်းကတော့အမှန်ပြောလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီလိုခက်ခဲမျိုးကကြုံဘူးလားဆိုတော့အကဒီအလုပ်တာ SPA ထောင်တာလဲအကလုပ်တာအနည်း40ကျော်ပြီ46နှစ်ရှိပြီ SPA လဲထောင်တာ36နှစ်ရှိပြီပေါ့နော်ဒါမှမဟုတ်အခက်ခဲဆိုတာတော့တွေ့ကြုံမှုပါတယ်နော်အခါပေါင်းများစွာတွေ့ကြုံမှုပါတယ်တို့တော့ဒီတစ်ခေါက်အခက်ခဲကတော့အရင်ခက်ခဲတွေနဲ့အများကြီးပိုပြင်းထန်တယ်လို့အင်္ဂယူဆပါတယ်နော်အရင်တော့တွေ့ကြုံတဲ့ခက်ခဲတွေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တက္ကသိုလ်မှာဥမာ bank crisis ဆိုလို့ရှိရင် financial crisis 2008တို့နော်1997နော် Asia financial crisis ဆိုအဲ့ဒီလို crisis ဘာမှမပြောလို့ရှိရင်2003နော် banking crisis ဆိုတော့အကုန်လုံးကတက္ကသိုလ်ထဲမှာဒုက္ခအန္တရာယ်ရောက်ခဲ့တယ်တိုးတော့အများပြည်သူအများကတော့အလုပ်အဆက်လုပ်နေတော့နော်အနေထိုင်ရလည်းအပြောင်းလဲမရှိဘူးဒီနေ့ဖြစ်တဲ့ဟာဒါလူတိုင်းနဲ့သက်ဆိုင်သွားတယ်ဘယ်သူမှပြေးလို့မလို့နော်ပဲလာရှိတဲ့လူလည်းပြေးလို့မလို့ဆင်းရဲတဲ့လူလည်းပြေးလို့မလို့နော်အောင်မြင်တဲ့လူလည်းပြေးလို့မလို့မအောင်မြင်တဲ့လူလည်းပြေးလို့မလို့ဒါအကုန်လုံးတူတူခံစားနေရတဲ့အခက်အခဲဆိုတော့ပို့ပြီးတော့ပြင်းထန်တယ်လို့တော့ကျင်းနေတယ်တိုးတော့အခက်အခဲဆိုတာအဲ့ဒီလိုအခက်အခဲဆိုတာအမြဲကြော်လွှားမှမှာတော့ကျင်းနေပါတယ်နော်ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒီလို crisis ဖြစ်တဲ့အချိန်မှာမကြော်သွားနိုင်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒုက္ခဘာပြီးဆုံးသွားပြီနော်အဲ့ဒီလိုကဘာမပြီးဆုံးဘူးလူတွေကဆက်ရှိနေမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီခက်ခဲတော့ကျင်းနေကြော်သွားမှာပဲဒါတော့ပြောဖို့မလိုဘူးထူးခြားတာတစ်ခုပဲအဲ့ဒီအချိန်ရောက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာဘယ်သူကြံခဲ့မလဲနော်ဆိုတော့ကြိုးစားမှာတော့တို့ကြံခဲ့ဖို့တို့အဖွဲ့အစည်းကြံခဲ့ဖို့နော်တို့တောင်းမှနဲ့နော်ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့နော်အလုပ်ကိုင်းလုံးနိုင်ဖို့အဲ့ဒီဟာအရေးကြီးဆုံးပဲဆိုတော့စိုးရင်ဖို့လိုလားလိုတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ကြောက်ဖို့လိုလားမလိုပါဘူးနော်အလားတူပဲအခွင့်အရေးတွေထွက်လာမယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အင်္ဂါခုနကတော့မေကုနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတစ်ခုပြောချင်တာတော့တော်တော်များလူဟာငါတို့ အလုပ်ပြုတ်တော့မယ်လို့စိုးရိမ်မှုရှိတယ်။ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့အလုပ်ငန်းတွေကခက်ခဲတွေ့တဲ့အချိန်မှာနော်ဒီအသုံးစရိတ်ကိုလျှော့ရမယ်အများဖြစ်ရတော့လူလျှော့တာပေါ့နော်လူလျှော့တာအလုပ်ပြုတ်သွားမယ်အန်ဂါတို့ရဲ့အသွေးခေါ်ဘာလဲဆိုရင်မျောလင့်တာတို့ရဲ့ဖွဲ့စည်းထဲမှာတယောက်မှပြုတ်ဆရာမလို့တယောက်မှအလုပ်ပြုတ်ဆရာမလို့အကုန်လုံးအလုပ်ဆက်ရှိဖို့လိုတယ်တို့တော့အဲ့ဒီစကား realistic ဖြစ်လာနော်ဆောင်ရွက်နိုင်မလားဆိုရင်အမှန်ပြောလို့ရှိရင်ခက်တယ်ဘာကြောင့်လဲဆိုတော့စီးပွားရေးကမတူတော့ဘူးအဲ့ဒီကြောင့်ဇရိတ်ကိုတော့လျှော့ရမယ်အဲ့ဒီလိုလျှော့ရမယ့်အချိန်မှာဥမာလာကနဲ့ဆိုင်ရာပြောလို့ရှိရင်နော်အနေငယ်အဖွဲအလုတ်ပြုတ်သွားတဲ့အခြားနော်အားလုံးတူနော်ကိုယ့်ရဲ့အကျိုးကို sacrifice လုပ်ပြီးတော့အားလုံးတူစ조사လို့ရှိရင်လူတိုင်းရဲ့ဝင်ငွေတော့နေသွားမယ်ဒါပေမဲ့လူတိုင်းရဲ့ဝင်ငွေရှိမယ်အဲ့ဒီဟာကိုအငါတို့ကစ조사နေပါတယ်နော်
I'm going to ask you one more question, since it's your favorite topic, one of your favorite topics. How will this crisis affect the tourism industry? How long will it take for Myanmar tourism to recover?
The tourism industry is probably one of the most vulnerable industry in this crisis because people do not wish or cannot travel. And therefore, it is definitely one of the most vulnerable. So there is no doubt that the tourism business that we have, Memories Group, will take a much harsher hit than anybody else. Okay? But I am hopeful that as soon as the crisis is over, okay, there will be a huge spike, a burst of travelers because they have been pent up for so long.
Okay. So we are moving on to slightly different topics, work-related. I'm going to start with the first few. The question here is, in the event of a country lockdown, will there be paid leave for all employees who have to stay at home? Will we get the full salary if we have to work from home?
I just answered that.
Yeah.
Partially.
So I think we will. I mean, we're protecting salaries. Yeah.
That's right.
So especially when there's a government-mandated lockdown, we'll be committed during the lockdown period.
Let me perhaps say it in English what I said in Burmese just now.
Yeah.
Okay. Every business is facing difficulties, and our hope is that none of our people will lose their jobs, that everybody will continue to have a job. That's our desire and hope. But that is not a very practical hope, because you will have to reduce your expenses to survive. And therefore, the options are two. Whether a small group of people or a big group of people lose their job and the other group continue to have a job, or whether we all share the sacrifice and everybody has a job. Now, these are the very simple two options that exist. And it is something that we will have to discuss more and reach a consensus. What is the best policy for our group?
Very good. This is a quick one. If there is a country lockdown, will Yoma Bank stop operating? I can say it will not stop operating. We've looked at many countries who have implemented lockdowns. Essential services, particularly the banking sector, food, grocery, etc., those will continue to operate. What support will the company provide employees if the employee is infected with the virus? Will the group take responsibility for family members of the employee?
You have a plan. Why don't you tell everybody the plan?
So the group generally has a health coverage policy, and we, certainly the virus or the treatment of the virus and also the testing, if it is mandated by doctors, will be covered under that. So it will. I think that's inside. For family members, I think we will need to look at the situation by situation. I think from what I understand, the insurance will cover some family members, but right now, the treatment of the virus as well as the testing is actually done by government facilities. Actually, and I believe it's for free, so the cost shouldn't be a big problem. For sure, we're treating everyone as a family, so it would not be if your family member who has a virus, you will not just throw them away. So I don't think cost should be a concern. Some employees are being called back to their hometowns by their parents. Will unpaid leave apply to them?
It depends on the situation. I don't think there's a general cut and dry answer to that. You know, we have already instigated work from home. All right? We started it last week with the senior people in the group. Anybody that is over, I think, 60 within 70, the group, yeah, or 70 within the group has to work from home. And this is to protect them and to protect everybody, right? So we've already started work from home. And if you have to go home to work, it really depends, to be honest, whether you can work from home, okay? If you're saying, my family wants me to be back in my little hometown, right? And there's no way you can work from home, okay? Then I will pose a question back to you to say, is that fair to the group? Is that fair to the company that you are attached to? Is that fair to your other colleagues that are working and facing difficulties and challenges? So we have to weigh up all this before we can give you a simple answer that is probably more limited to your own interests. I want to go home, will I get paid? I don't think that's even the right question for this period of time.
But the group is going to take every situation very sensitively. So what we are doing as a group of senior executive, we are planning for what happens before Tinjan and also after Tinjan. As much as possible, we're looking at before Tinjan to see whether there's some staff who would be able to leave earlier. I think that would allow kind of slightly earlier departure for those who would like to go back to hometown earlier. And then we also need to look at after Tinjan, how people come back. There may be some people who have a preference for leaving earlier and maybe coming back a bit later. We will need to discuss with you on how the arrangement works. As the chairman mentioned, the idea is not to take things from you, but also we need to have a fair arrangement. Broadly, I would say before Tinjan, for people who are leaving a bit earlier, if this is a company decided as a policy, we will provide those on a paid leave basis. However, after Tinjan, for those who would like to opt into coming back later, most likely those will be on a different arrangement. Loan from the company. I think this question is around the COVID-19 relief loan that we just put in place by Yoma Bank. What is the procedure for getting emergency loan from Yoma Bank? Are all employees entitled to this? So this was posted on Workplace for the Yoma Group. I think a similar program is already in place in Yoma Bank. So starting on the 1st of April, people will be able to get the form. And that form is available on Yoma Connect, or if you don't have Yoma Connect, you can get it from your entity HR. But it will be you will fill in the form. All employees who have passed probation would be allowed to take a loan for up to 3 months. The repayment period is 12 months and is at a preferential interest rate of 8.5%. So that we are committing to providing a loan within 24 hours, paid directly into your smart account. Almost all of you should have a Yoma Bank smart account, so that should be a very simple disbursement process.
ဒီကိစ္စနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့အင်္ဂါတခွန်းတခွန်းပြောခြင်းတယ်နော်ယောမဘန်ဒီဝန်ထမ်းတွေကိုအထူးပေါ့နော် emergency လုံးပေးတဲ့ကိစ္စအင်မတန်ကောင်းတဲ့စီမံကိန်းတစ်ခုပါအဲ့ဒီလိုခက်ခဲတဲ့အချိန်မှာကိုယ့်ရဲ့ဝန်ထမ်းတွေဒီခက်ခဲကိုပို့ပြီးတော့ချောမုတ်နဲ့ကြော်လွှားနိုင်အောင်အဲ့လိုပံ့ပိုးပေးတာအင်မတန်ကောင်းပါတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့မေကွန်းကမေးတာအဲ့ဒီကလူတိုင်းရမလားဆိုတော့မေကွန်းအင်္ဂါဒီမှာတကွန်းထပ်ပြောခြင်းတယ်လူတိုင်းရနိုင်တယ်Yoma group ရဲ့ဝန်ထမ်းဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့သူက qualify ဖြစ်ပြီတိုးတော့အင်္ဂါပြန်မေးနေတာဒီ3လစာရဲ့ချီးငွေကိုလိုလားမလိုလားတကယ်လိုလားအဲ့ဒီကဝန်ထမ်းတွေကကိုယ့်ဘာကိုပြန်မေးရမှာနော်အကယ်လိုတယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင် company အနေနဲ့ထုတ်ကြည့်ပေးတာနည်းနည်းဝင်မလဲဘူးတိုးတော့ဟာငါဒီဆိုင်ထဲမှာ Gucci အိတ်လေးကိုကြည့်နေတာကြာပြီမတတ်နိုင်ဘူးအခုက3လစာရတယ်ချက်ချင်းပတ်စံချီပြီးသွားဝယ်မယ်တုံးမတချို့ဒါမင်းကလေးတွေပြောတာနော်ယောက်ျားလေးတွေကဟာငါချဲထိုးနေတာကြာပြီအခုချဲထိုးလို့ရှိရင်တော့ငါတီပေါက်သွားလို့ရှိရင်တော်တော်ချမ်းသာသွားမယ်အဲ့ဒီလိုစိတ်နဲ့လာချီလို့ရှိရင်တော့နော်ဒါဒုက္ခပဲရောက်မှာဆိုတော့အထူးတတိပေးခြင်းပါတယ်နော်ဒီ3လစာချီးငွေသည်ယခုဖြစ်နေတဲ့အခက်အခဲကိုကျော်လွှားနိုင်ဖို့ပံ့ပိုးတဲ့ကိစ္စတစ်ခုနော်အလွဲမသုံးစားပါနဲ့ကိုယ့်ဘာကိုထိခိုက်မလုပ်ပါနဲ့နော်
Next question seems to be a very important one. With the current situation, are we still getting Tinjan bonuses? Yes, you are. We will be giving out bonuses across the group. In fact, we will look to pay those bonuses earlier at the beginning of April in case some of the staff will be planning to leave earlier. So that's still going to happen.
I think Yoma Bank has already announced it on their for their staff. Yeah.
There's a question about People 2020, the initiative. So we launched People 2020 earlier this year about really focusing on our people and making them feel valued. So the question is that still continuing with all the disruption that we're seeing? And the answer is absolutely yes. In fact, this is even more important than ever to really focus on our own people. So it is absolutely happening. The scheduling of some of the initiatives may need to be changed a little bit, but just to give you a glimpse of some of the work that we have put in place, we have what I call the 4 core program, which is eat well, save well, move well, and live well. Is really addressing the core things that we want to improve. So eat well, we've started at the campus with an improvement of the canteen. I think that's been getting good response. We are actually going to do a phase 2 sometime later this year to really drastically change the food court. So that's coming along. Save well, we're putting in place a retirement savings plan. And the essence of it is that as a portion of people's salary can be set aside for retirement purposes, the group will match that, so give an extra amount into this saving account for everyone to keep. And then we'll also provide an investment so that that grows at a good rate. So that upon retirement, hopefully that pot of money will be able to help everyone. So that is being put in place. We're delaying a little bit on the detailed implementation due to the various work that we're doing. Move Well is my favorite, actually. It's a program to really get access for everyone to many hundreds of gyms and kind of exercise programs in the city. Of course, given COVID-19, we're trying to avoid too many social gatherings. So we are putting that on hold until this calms down. And then Live Well is really a plan to help people get into housing that is affordable, etc. But a lot of these are ongoing. Simple things have been put in place. You know, we've improved the shuttle services, especially to the campus and to the hospital, etc. We are putting a few other things in place, but People 2020 is very much still alive and well. The next question. Now the IT infrastructure of the company is set up strongly to work from home. Is there any chance to work from home or have any other flexible work time? Maybe I can just clarify our work from home policy. As a policy, as a group, we are encouraging more and more work from home, but that is something that is driven by each business unit, given their needs. So we're not saying that everyone has to work from home, but you will see in the last few weeks and also in the coming week that more and more people are able to work from home, and we're going to be having more and more rotating shift where half of the office works from home, half in the office, and then that rotates. We are putting a slightly different category for the more vulnerable people to this virus. So according to WHO, people who have existing health conditions, people who are older are more vulnerable, and also pregnant women, and they've been asked to work from home. Even if they cannot, those vulnerable people cannot work from home, they will be put on paid medical leaves. But I think it's actually quite good that we've been able to also look at whether the system is in place for these work from home, and those systems are being drastically improved. For a practical question here, if I have a car loan from Yoma Bank, and if I have a salary cut in the future, will the loan payment collection be delayed for Yoma employees? Chairman, what do you think?
Well, every situation demands the right solution. Okay, if you have a car loan or a home mortgage, and as a result of a pay cut, you would have difficulty meeting those payments, the onus is on us how to make it more convenient and feasible for you. Okay? Definitely we would look into it, and definitely we take it upon ourselves that it is not your fault, and it is our duty to help you get over this period. Okay? So that would be our overarching policy. Okay?
So the two questions that came through workplace, I'll answer both of those together on Yoma Fleet. One is, could you kindly hold the installment plan for Yoma employees who is buying car with Yoma Fleet? That's question number one. Question number two is whether we can actually provide a discount during this period for Yoma Fleet. Personally, I think both are very reasonable requests, and we would like to see what we can do. I'm working with Yoma Fleet. We will be able to be more flexible, but hopefully we'll put something in place in the next day or so and announce it.
But this question is predicated on the fact that you're going to get a pay cut. At this moment, you don't have a pay cut yet. So, to be honest, this question doesn't arise until the pay cut arises. But I am happy to see that people are anticipating difficulties. But you shouldn't be too worried because your pay is not cut yet, okay?
And I would also say that it's very commendable from Yoma Bank that we are already talking to every single customer and companies to see how we can help them through difficult times. So the group's philosophy is very much that we are in this together with our staff, with our customers, with our partners, and we will look at how we can support on a case-by-case basis. There's a question here, is a salary loan arrangement available for joint venture entities staff? Yes, for all staff, including joint venture staff. We view you very much as part of the Yoma group, and this loan is available to them as well. There's a question here about rumors, and I'll be open on what the situation was. There was a situation yesterday in one of our businesses in the campus. In fact, it's Yoma Micropower, where someone was tested with temperature and was shown to have a fever. And very quickly over the last 24 hours, there's been a lot of rumors, people asking, people talking about what happened, and of course the worst is assumed. Let me first tell you what happened. A staff came in the morning, there was no fever, everything was fine, no symptom. In the afternoon, after lunch, after going in the sun, we took the temperature and it was 102 degrees, so it's quite high. And we let her rest for a little bit, took the temperature again, it remains high. So we sent, upon her request, we sent her to the hospital to take a test. By the time we got to the hospital, there's no more fever. And since there's no other symptom, we've sent her home to be rested. So this situation is actually okay. We've gone through the situation, there's no fever. It's most likely just due to the fact that it is so hot outside. And in fact, as a general procedure, we will, if we do test for fever, after people have been in the sun, we will let them rest a bit and then test again to make sure there's no false reading. But on the point about rumors and spreading, I would encourage all of you to be aware that we are going to be very, very, very transparent. There's nothing that we will hide, and we don't want there to be a cascading of people feeling that they're concerned and fearing the worst. If you have any concern, if you heard anything, please use askhr@yoma.com.mm. We will answer promptly after investigation, and where feasible, we'll post it on Workplace so that everyone knows the facts. Because I think sometimes these rumors get out of control and it's unnecessary. Next question. The chairman, I think this is, again, your passion. What do you think is the short to medium term impact for real estate?
I am not sure that the real estate sector is going to be hit more than any other. As a matter of fact, given the background in the last 3 years, the real estate sector or the real estate market has been relatively quiet. It's not a situation where you will see a precipitous downfall of real estate prices or real estate demand. So I'm not overly concerned, okay? We have in the past, 7 months, 8 months, sold 630, 640 units in City Loft. No other real estate developer in this town, I believe, can claim that kind of sales record in that period of time. And we have been successful because we launched a product that is the right product for the right market at the right time. Okay? Now, am I concerned about these buyers not being able to pay their mortgage or their commitments to pay? Yes, I am a bit concerned, because if they have a big turn, they will have a difficulty, right? But I think the kind of product that we have at this moment, which is mainly City Loft, is not going to be overly disrupted, okay? And in fact, I am looking forward to actually selling more in the coming months.
Right, thanks. Next question. What happens if one of our employees get infected by the virus? What should we do, and what will the company do? Let me start by saying that we have been thinking very deeply about the scenario of what happens if someone is suspected of a virus or gets infected. So first of all, on the healthcare side, we've been working with the hospital to look at what we can do. And the government position is always changing as well in terms of whether we need to send it to government hospital to be tested or whether we can test it eventually here. But the answer to that question is we are going to take this extremely seriously, and we will be looking at within the government regulation how we can treat and also make sure that other people are not infected. So that's for the people who if one of our staff or the family members has tested positive for COVID-19. I think there's also another scenario where someone has been in contact with someone who is tested positive, and that is in many ways even more complicated problem, because if we think about our offices in the campus or office in Yoma Bank, if one person has been in touch, in contact with a positive case, will potentially are spreading that virus to a very large group. So we've asked all of our entities, CEO, and asked everyone to be extremely careful when you come across a situation where you have contacts, even if it's a few layers or few contacts removed, please report it immediately. We have a procedure that's now in place to figure out what level of contact and how many layers does it reach to us. Based on that, we will need to see how we can protect the rest of the community, because it's very important to me that we actually protect the whole community to avoid any spread. But I just want to remind all of you that this reporting urgently and then working out together is something that's needed. So there's a question on the practical matter of social distancing. I have a concern about social distancing on our ferries. It is not possible to sit 1 meter apart from each other on the ferry. What do we do? We've actually been discussing this with our admin team, and we're looking at how we can actually have more distance with each other on the ferry, even some markings. The point is well made, and we will put in place a procedure to see how we can ensure there's wider distance, social distancing. It comes down to also a couple of things. There are hand sanitizers in every single ferry. We've actually put it as a policy that everyone has to use it as you get on, so that you sanitize your hands. But if you are sick, or if you are suspecting yourself of being sick, or if your family member who live with you are sick, you're asked not to come into the office. In fact, if we just everyone take a more conservative view than normal, and just avoid outside, avoid coming to the office, and put yourself in self-isolation at home, if there's any risk at all, that would put everyone else in a safer position. Of course, again, Ask Doc allow us to actually ask some simple questions so that the doctor can guide you. But just please don't take any risks, and don't try to not bring any virus into the workplace. Now, this is a question I don't know how to answer, but to avoid public transport and crowded transport, I would like to drive my car to the office, but the parking fees at Myanmar Plaza is too expensive. Any help on parking fees? I'm going to throw that to Yoma Bank CEO to answer on workplace, since they are the ones who have office in Myanmar Plaza. But I think in general, we're just trying to do everything that we can. In fact, Yoma Bank has done a lot of things to help their staff to also have more social distancing and also have a safer workplace. So I'll leave that to Yoma Bank. I hear some coughing in the office and I'm worried. What should we do, and should we be concerned? I think during this live cast, the chairman has been coughing a few times, so should I be concerned? Again, ask doc. Don't try to be a doctor. Don't have a judgment. Ask doc. Even this silly question, there's no reason to be to not ask. But there are a few things. Now, of course, the virus spreads very fast, partly because it does not have any symptom for the first few days, and you can still transmit. But generally, when symptoms develop, it develops in a number of different ways. You will have high fever, and generally it would be compounded with another condition, be it coughing, and that would normally be dry cough without runny nose. It would also could be a shortness of breath, or it could be diarrhea. So these combination of symptoms should make you more worried. But I would err on the side of just, if you have the cough, please go and ask doc. But generally, if it's just a cough, it's unlikely to be a concern. It's really the fever is the leading symptom indicator. But please don't try to be a doctor. Just go and ask.
And perhaps we should all realize that catching the coronavirus doesn't mean that you will definitely die. Okay? You only die if your immune system loses against the fight. So, catching it is not the most scariest thing. Not having a good immune system is what you should be more worried about. And therefore, try to build your immune system. Okay? Sleep well, eat well, exercise well, right? And get your immune system ready to fight. So even if you catch the virus, it will win.
The next question, there's a question about the COVID relief loans again. And this is in relation to the construction side. There's a question on whether the joint venture companies in some of the construction side will be eligible. Now the answer is, again, we treat all the people who are in our company to be Yoma group. So they're eligible provided that they've passed probation. For those who are on short-term contracts or, of course, without a contract, they would not be generally eligible because this is on 3-month salary with the assumption that you use part of the salary over 12 months to repay. So if you don't have a likelihood of being on kind of in the job for 12 months, that would generally not be eligible. But we can look at it on a case-by-case basis. The next question is about the shop that we've just started yesterday, Campus A. How long will it last? And like the campus, are we going to have it in other work locations? To start with, we're absolutely committed to have it in more locations. The idea is to help our staff get the essential goods, rice, eggs, cooking oil, simple things, in a centralized location so that you don't have to go and rush into supermarkets, etc. The campus store is just a start. Once we, over the next week, we will smoothen it and it will go into other locations. How long will it last? We don't have an end date of it. Certainly for the next weeks, maybe even months during this coronavirus period, we would like to make people's life easier. And who knows, if it is popular, maybe we will have it for the long term. Next question. The public transport is very crowded, and some of our journey is more than an hour. Can we have company transport during this period so we can avoid public crowds? This is for people who have to work in the office. I think we are working quite hard already to, first of all, have less people working in the office, and that would allow the ferries to be used in a different way. If you have a specific concern about using public transport and you're not able to get the ferry, I'll ask you to contact Ask HR so we can see whether we can come up with a solution. With so many people in the group, it's very hard to have one standard solution for every single person. But rest assured that we're taking the COVID-19 situation very seriously, and we will look at various solutions for you. These are all the questions that I have on my hand. Any questions? Any other questions coming from the workplace? There are some? They're all done. Okay.
Good.
Well, right on time as well. Well, a little bit late, but close enough.
Yeah. Well, in closing, I'd like to say to everybody that times of crisis are probably the best time for us to test our mettle, to test how strong we are, to test how good we are. Normally, under normal circumstances, we all seem to be good performers, we all seem to be good people, we all seem to have a lot of good things. Our weaknesses can be easily sort of covered. In terms of crisis, you have no place to hide. it will come out. And therefore, personally, I consider this difficult times to be also a great opportunity for us to test how strong we are, to test how sincere we are. Strong, I mean how we can take on sacrifices, how we can be strong and have the tenacity to face difficulties. Sincere, I mean how the group looks after its people, how the people, every member of our group, respond to the crisis instead of thinking of their selfish interests, to think of the common good. These are the times of test. And I am confident that you will all pass the test admirably. That the vast majority of our people, because of the years of values that we have instilled in our members of our group, I am confident that you will overcome, that you will demonstrate special qualities to fight this crisis, and that we will together emerge victorious. Thank you for listening today.
Thank you.